On tonight's episode, we are talking Fallout TV show, Season 2, Episodes 2 and 3.
And Elder Scrolls Online switching to seasons, an Amazon reality show based on Fallout Shelter, and Elder Scrolls 6, more trees than Skyrim?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bethesda Unpatched. This is episode number 26. I am Joe the Widget, and I am joined by the space trucker. I had an epic thought hit my mind, and it just went poop, gone to the wind. The ether took it. The space
I'm gonna send you
trucker
a notebook so you can write this down.
extraordinaire, extreme himself, Kilo.
I'll take that. What's up, guys? We are back. Season 2. Here we go. Season 2 of our show.
Yeah, this is officially the start of season 2 of our show,
Yes.
episode 26. We're just going to do that every holiday at the beginning of the new year. This is our first episode of the 2026. It's already crazy saying that. It
Yes.
gets me every year. Did you have a good Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on vacation. I went several days without leaving my house. It was great. Oh, and I did all this.
He has a space now.
Yes. Big thanks to Mrs. Kilo. She was a big help. She did a lot of the decorating. So
That's awesome.
I got my nice little recording spot.
Still working on repositioning mine, but as you can see, let me see, get the camera right. I got the
There you
neons
go.
working.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got my
Indeed.
one of my 2 new Fallout shirts for Christmas.
Oh, nice. I like that.
This one kind of glows because of the camera, the lighting. Let me see if I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's so diabolical. I love that. That's fantastic.
it's my pit boy, my diabolical pit boy day, and I have another one I will reveal next episode.
There you go. Hey, let's do this one too. How about a little StarCon reminder? We got StarCon coming up on January 24th. This is actually, it's going to be between 1 and 5 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We do have a half-hour block. We're still not 100% sure when we'll be going on. And of course, we are hoping to get involved with King Fan Man. But we decided that we're going to be talking about the future of Starfield.
The wish
It's going to be
list.
our Hey Bethesda. Yes, our wish list for Starfield moving forward. So definitely look forward to that. Registration starts on January 6th. It is free, but there are limited slots available. So make sure you get in on that. You
Hey,
can
if you
go to
guys-
wow.
I know, it's one of
How
those
about
days.
this? I was all hype. I got my star-con2026.com. And you can see all the details there. And we got Vasco. Vasco's going to be joining us
Oh, he
in some
confirmed.
capacity. The voice actor. Yep. Well, it's on the website, so I hope so.
Right? Yeah, if you guys want to be included in the Hey Bethesda, as in what you would like to see in the future updates and content for Starfield, drop us a line, comment in our YouTube, in our Discord, however you guys want to reach us. If it's, not crazy, then we'll definitely include it. Sometimes if they're
I'll probably
crazy,
include it.
yeah.
I'll probably include it if it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can count on me. And you can actually go to our link tree. That's linktr.ee/wyrdkhaosmedia. Wyrd is WYRD, chaos with the K media, all one word. All of our links that are there to our Instagram and our Eliminate for some damn reason, and our Twitch, or not.
Still
Twitch,
haven't gotten
but
rid of
our,
that thing, huh?
Whatever, X. No, I'm a glutton for punishment. I put up a new picture of Ella Purnell, and it's drawn no attention whatsoever. I'm still getting comments on the old Ella Purnell picture, and I honestly have no explanation at this point.
No.
But you can find our email and everything else there as well, and our Discord. And feel free to come join our Discord, which is the place to be.
Like we talked about at the top of the show, we're going to be getting into Fallout Season 2, Episodes 2 and 3. There's a lot to talk about. They dropped a lot of nuggets, which caused me to pause the show several times. And I did a little treasure hunt during one scene, and we'll talk about that. We've got a lot of news, so we're going to go ahead and dive right into that.
Elder Scroll Online announces a shift from content passes to seasons. As you can imagine, this article does not have a lot of details about it, but it does promise more details on January 7th. Now, seasons, that's how Fallout 76 operates. So I feel like they're kind of trying to streamline and unify. Well, streamline in the sense that they want everything working similarly so that it's easier to maintain, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's easier to schedule content between the teams. I mean, they have different teams working on each game, but as a development studio, I could see how that would be very beneficial to keep things the same. If you're working on different release schedules for everything, it can get really hectic and crazy.
From a time management standpoint and a corporate efficiency, which we know with Microsoft has been a big proponent for as far as Bethesda is concerned, is getting this stuff out. And speaking of that, we know that there are a few rumors and leaks going around regarding, like Elder Scrolls 6 is a couple years away. Like it's not going to be out until 28 or 29 or Fallout 5 this, or we don't have any details. So take all of those rumors, as usual, with a grain of salt.
Hey, I'm still convinced Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out at the end of 2026. I think at this point they have to.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable bet. And like you said, fourth quarter, big for game releases. They have a lot going on right now. They got to get... I know they're really big on like, most of what we're doing is Fallout, and that's great. We love Fallout here. But this game has been going on too long at this point, So we're hoping for quarter 4 for that. We're hoping for early second quarter, mid second quarter for Starfield. And of course, we're talking about Terran Armada. We're talking about the quote unquote cyberpunk style 2.0 updates with interplanetary travel and improved POIs and the port over to PlayStation 5.
They have 3 giant things down the pipeline. The expansion and the big updates for Starfield. And we know that they're going to be big because of this long, huge delay that they promised they wouldn't do, but they did anyway, which means to me that they're doing the same, like you said. They're doing a revamp.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big revamp of the game before they release the new expansion.
Alongside,
yeah. Then we got Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5. Fallout 5 being the very distant one of the 3. I think the Starfield one is definitely the more incoming.
Closer.
And that could be incoming soon.
Yeah, and a lot of, that's actually another article a little bit further down my list here. A lot of people, we're all expecting a shadow drop. After Shattered Space and with everything that's been going on, and especially right now with the big focus being on Fallout 5, Fallout the TV show, Elder Scrolls 6, and our supposed remakes may or may not, they're supposed to be incoming. Yeah. It'd be a perfect time in the middle of all that to drop May, June. We'll see how that develops. Interesting little talk here. Bethesda lead says in the time between Fallout 4 and Starfield, the one thing the studio has learned is that there's no one definition of an RPG.
No. It's a role-playing game, and that's about as rudimentary as you get. You put into a role, and you're playing the game.
Right. Well, one thing that this guy says is that Cyberpunk 2077 is one of his favorite games, and there are some people who don't call that an RPG, which is kind of bonkers to me because that's kind of what the hell it is.
Yeah, that's an RPG for sure.
I love Cyberpunks. This came from, I should have looked at the source of this quote. Emil Pagliarulo. Yeah, that's who that quote came from.
Yeah, that's kind of impressive you got that good.
Of course, Emil is, not a lot of people are fans of his. He was the one that said that there shouldn't be branching storylines because it's too much work. Isn't that the same guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing to say. The one thing we really learned is there's no definition of an RPG, he says. Look at Cyberpunk 2077, one of my favorite games. There are some people who don't call that an RPG. So the concept of an RPG is always evolving, but does it mean that your game has traits? It has backgrounds, that it has dialogue. Well, yeah. And Emil, by the way, RPGs should have choices for that matter. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Here's the thing, though. RPG is an overall umbrella term. When it comes to gaming, you get into the more specific RPG types, depending on the type of game. Action RPG, for instance, which would be your Tomb Raiders and things like that. Indiana Jones, for instance, is an action RPG. Turn-based or traditional RPGs, so that's your typical Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 7, which are definitely more character development and story-driven based, and that's kind of where Bethesda falls. They fall in between action RPG and the traditional character development RPG.
Yeah.
Because their combat style is very action RPG-esque, but everything else is traditional RPG. There's all kinds that these games fall under that just has a different base definition of what that game is going to entail.
Well, I mean, it depends. You know, and that's the thing, too. That's interesting coming from Emil, the guy who's against the branching storylines in an RPG, because Cyberpunk, while a great game, you're left with a limited number of choices as far as paths that you can walk through the game. And you get a different ending depending on which faction you choose is what it really comes down to in the end. So it's somewhat linear, but you can still explore, you can still go different places. You're building your own character, you're designing them, building them out as you want, just like you would in a Fallout game or an Elder Scrolls game. So, I mean, I don't know what he means that's not an RPG, or what anybody would mean by saying that that's not an RPG necessarily.
Oh, I gotta mention this now so I don't forget. It's not related. I saw something when I was playing with my Switch 2 the other day in the store, and it cracked me up. I hovered over the Skyrim shop icon for it on the Switch 2 store, and they briefly showed Dovahkiin sitting there with the freaking Master Sword and Zelda shield for a brief second in the video. Only for the Nintendo Switch 2 version.
Nintendo. Well, of course. I mean, they did the same thing with, what was it? I had a GameCube. That was like the last Nintendo system I had. And Soul Calibur, we were really big into Soul Calibur, and you could unlock Link from Legend of Zelda. And it was exclusive to the GameCube version. So that's cool that they put that in there. That's a lot of fun. So about this, here's some news. Amazon riding the hype train for Fallout, reportedly working on a Fallout Shelter-based reality competition show. So a new report from Film and TV insider Jeff Snyder, apparently this was spotted by Comic Book. It's a website that we've mentioned here in our news segment many times before, claims that Amazon is working on a totally new Fallout TV show based on Fallout Shelter. I would love to hear how this is going to work. I don't know.
What, they put everybody in a Fallout shelter and have them live together in like Big Brother meets Fallout?
Like a twisted, I was about to say Big Brother or Real World.
With all the rules and regulations of like a Fallout shelter, that'd be hilarious. I'd be into that.
Well, report adds that we could see the show taking place in multiple vaults, or potentially one large one. Kind of unclear, but as we get into 2026, and once the current season of Amazon's already running Fallout series has concluded, we'll hear more about this Fallout Shelter spinoff. And that would make sense for them to do that. As soon as this season ends, we already know they're greenlit for season 3. I believe they either started shooting already or they will start shooting soon. I think it was just recently that once this season, if they're going to bank on the Fallout, they got to keep it rolling. They got to keep it going. So I would be very surprised if we didn't hear anything by spring or at least summer on this new reality show. And I hate reality shows, but I'm kind of into this idea.
Fallout Season 3 is expected to begin filming summer of 2026.
Okay, well, there you go. There's your answer. Here's something that maybe you know something about. The Fallout 76 Sunset Stranger mini-season.
Oh, they're doing a new mini-season.
Okay. Do you know anything about that?
Not much. But I'm curious about it.
Sarsaparilla-themed rewards.
Okay.
Sunset Sarsaparilla-themed rewards. And episode 3 of season 2 of Fallout just dropped, and the first thing you see is Sunset Sarsaparilla.
Yeah, they like to do these little mini seasons in between the main season and dropping little extra goodies for usually lasts a week or two.
It's going to offer a unique selection of goodies, cosmetic items, and camp furnishings themed after one of the finest refreshments out west there is. And a familiar
I
one,
like some
if
of
you're
this
following the
stuff.
brand new season. A deputy hat. Redeem your tickets through the season's menu rewards once you complete like different challenges and stuff. You were talking about the challenges previously. You know something about that.
You know, I'm going to talk about it now because I did a little bit of in Fallout 76. So I really focused my playtime a lot on doing the season. I have never done that before. I never really knew that there was anything to it until I really dived into it after talking to King Fanman, our last episode we had him, and seeing the Ghoul's Gun. I want that thing. So I learned how the seasons work, how you get score points, how you unlock the different tiers. And I started diving into it, which I haven't done in the last week, so I got hooked on a different game, which is my bad. I started building my score, which is a lot of it has to do with doing your dailies and your weeklies. And if you use lunch boxes, the max you can use is 3 lunch boxes at once to get the max 100% XP reward, or 4. And just compounding XP gains, there's other ways you can do it. And if you do your dailies and your weeklies, you can actually unlock pretty much every tier within a week if you're consistent with it and get all the currency to get everything you want. So I started going really into that, finally doing dailies and weeklies, which I never focused on before. I never cared about them before. I have too much story content to do.
Yeah.
And I did wind up finishing the Burning Springs first chapter. Yeah, the arena that you have to do the second time was stupid difficult. I died 4 times, learned how I can stay in stealth for a while, and then kill as much as I can before they found me. And I found out how to get a Deathclaw to start killing everybody because they have a handler. And if you kill the handler before the Deathclaw dies, it goes berserk and starts munching on everything else in sight. So that was a big help.
All right.
After that was done, I started doing my weeklies, which a lot of that has to do with camp building. So I did a lot to my camp. I'm going to post some pictures and videos of it on our Discord soon. I did some pretty cool stuff with it. Yeah. Trying to do all my dailies and weeklies done. So, the biggest thing ever. I know we're in the middle of news, but I'm doing this anyway.
Yeah. Let it ride, man.
I finally, after all this time, I got my suppressor on my sniper rifle.
Oh.
Finally. And I learned that if you craft a certain weapon that you're trying to unlock the component for, in my case, the hunting rifle, because my rifle's actually a hunting rifle, I crafted 31 of them with all the materials I've been saving up for a long time. 31 of those bad boys. And I started tearing them down. I had 5 other components appear. I got down to number 31, destroyed it, and got it on the last freaking one. I got my suppressor.
Awesome, man.
And after going out and hunting with that, it is a huge difference. Holy crap, I wish I had that during the arena and stuff like that. It would have been a game changer. Total game changer. I'm so happy now. Yeah, anyway.
I'm happy for you, man. You know what people are really happy about? People are super stupid happy about right now? There was an interview with Todd Howard.
Oh, yeah, that's always interesting.
Uh-huh. And apparently, I didn't know this, there's something like 46,000 trees in Skyrim, and Todd Howard confirmed, everybody listen, all right? There's more trees.
There's 46,002.
Exactly. Well, they said something like it's way more. It's like a 10 times more, 100 times more, something like that.
Well, that confirms a couple of different things because there's different regions people were debating on what Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be in, and a lot of those don't have many trees. So this
for like Valenwood.
Yeah, this goes into the area of Elsewhere and things like that are heavily wooded.
And Elsewhere's got swamps, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it also could just mean that it's a much, much larger map.
That too. I know it is.
Well, I mean, it is for sure, but so that we know that it's got more trees. Mystery solved.
It's visually absolutely stunning and beautiful. You're going to want to get the top of the line everything when that game comes out.
Oh, I'm sure. As people are just losing their shit over that.
I just got my new computer a year ago. I built it. And I'm going to be upgrading my video card second. As soon as I found out when Elder Scrolls 6 is dropping, I'm getting the best video card I can.
There you go, man. Absolutely. I look jaundiced in this light. I have to do something about that.
I'm going to get you the proper lighting.
Yeah, I gotta. It's on the list, believe me. The last thing that I really wanted to share, of course, we got Fallout Power Play game is coming. Apparently, there's Chip Theory, gaming company, made an Elder Scrolls board game, which is full of good stuff apparently. But here's the thing that I really want to talk about because it gave me a giggle. Experiment to train rats to play Doom reaches a new level. Rats can now shoot enemies.
What is it with Doom?
It's like they're using it's everything.
Doom is like this is a scientist's and engineer's favorite test bed for everything.
Right. We're gonna see what else we can do with this. So apparently, you can teach mice to shoot with it, which is amazing.
Hey guys, we want to make the news. Let's go ahead and do something with Doom.
Right, that's all you got to do, man. And the picture is amazing. Widget, grab this picture from the article.
Will do.
It's a wraparound. It's like a wraparound screen, and there's the mouse or the rat, whatever that.
Yeah, they're like in their own little video game booth going on, and that is hilarious. Well, because of how a rat's vision works, they would need to do that. They can't look at a flat screen like we can.
Oh, right, because their eyes are on the sides of their heads. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they have their bodies are fixed with a harness. They're on a spherical treadmill, so they can move around. The ball has movement sensors on it. Directly in front of the rat's face is a reward, and apparently the whiskers and air stimulation is how they like aim and shoot. Basically, it's teaching them to use their senses to locate the enemies and shoot them, which is
I'm gonna put all hilarious. This stuff up there on the screen for people to see. It's hilarious.
Oh my god, it's so fun. Yeah. So there you go.
That's really smart.
What scientists are doing this. That's pretty clever. The rats can now perform multiple distinct in-game actions, and the system can reliably evaluate and reward those actions. So the limiting factor is no longer the hardware or the software. Instead, it's the training time and experimental design.
And stay tuned. In 3 months, we'll hear about the first rat to ever beat Doom.
Right. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait.
Video included.
I want to see a rat playing a pacifist playthrough of Fallout. How about that?
Oh,
let's get weird with it. Let's get weird with it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got for the news, man.
That's like trying.
That's enough.
That's like trying to have a goldfish learn the ABCs. It doesn't work.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the right stimuli and the right context, you can teach anything, right? Sure.
So now we have Fallout Season 2, Episodes 2 and 3. Now, my buddy over here, Kilo, was blowing up my phone last week saying, have you watched the episode yet? Have you watched the episode yet? Have you watched the episode yet? And I didn't because me and my lady were waiting until last night to watch both of them, so they were fresh in my head. I know, lame. And then I finally got what he was talking about, but there's a lot to unpack. And I never got an answer on one of my questions, and I should have looked that up before recording.
If it's about what I messaged you about, I could probably answer it.
Okay, maybe. No, it's something else. It's what I posted on our Discord. Anyway, we're starting out with episode 2. Tons and tons of notes like usual. And we start the episode with little Maximus. So we're finally getting into Maximus. He was vacant the entire first episode. And he's a little guy in Shady Sands. And his dad is working on a very impressive water pump / filter.
Yep, trying to get the rads out of the water. And I think that is interesting because what we heard about Rose McClane leaving the vault, it was after she brought it to Hank's attention that it seemed like somebody was pulling the water away from their supply.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes total sense.
Really, yeah. So Hank had a couple of reasons to put an end to that.
I did not even think about that. See, I need a light bulb right above the screen when I finally when I figure that out.
There you go.
And then a guy on a cart comes into town looking pretty shady.
Yeah.
And he mumps.
You should. Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm sorry, I'm excited.
The line he starts mumbling.
Yep, which you hear about 100 times if you've ever played Fallout New Vegas.
Yep. That's us, and I had to stop and explain to my lady what that was. Mm-hmm. So I was laughing about it. And that line is, Patrolling the
Patrolling the
Mojave.
Mojave
Yeah, go ahead.
almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. I thought you put the break in there for me to jump in.
Yeah,
My
I
bad.
was going to, then I got excited and started going for it. Bad
All
host.
right,
Okay.
yeah, we're just being nerds. It's all good. But it does answer a question when they go up and say, "Hey, let's see what the caravan brought into town." And we finally figured out how Hank nukes Shady Sands.
Yep. Using the mind control device.
Boom.
And as I put my notes in, it ties into House and, well, Hank and possibly House.
I think it does tie into House. Well, I mean, there's a gap right now, right? Okay, because we know House started with these mind control implants, and we know Hank that then continues his work, and he even said so at the end of last episode when he made that radio transmission that I was going to continue your work and you're going to ask for my help. So there's still a gap there. So we don't know where that switch took place. Was that always something that Vault-Tec had?
I don't think this is Vault-Tec. I think this is outside of Vault-Tec. I think Hank's working with House and maybe his Robco, because I think the facility he's at is not actually a Vault-Tec vault.
The Vault-Tec tower? You don't think that was...
No, I think it might be something outside of it. Now, the only part that confuses me a little bit is when he brings out his human test subject from Cryo, and he says if it's Reclamation Day type thing. That's the only thing that makes me pause, that maybe this experiment is something that is happening in a Vault-Tec facility, but they didn't know about it. I don't know. For something about it makes me feel like it's not Vault-Tec.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily Vault-Tec either, and I think maybe there was some kind of double agent thing going on with Hank McClane between Robert House and Vault-Tec. And part of that is also part of the same thing. It says this Reclamation Day, but a lot of things have changed. So now that Hank's there at Vault-Tec Tower, and let's say it is Vault-Tec Tower, he's unable to contact anybody. If he's unable to contact anybody, he's not middle management anymore. He's the boss. There's nobody to check him. So now he's continuing work that's going to benefit House, supposedly.
And himself.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure this is all
we
for
still don't know
Hank.
what that looks like. But...
I think Hank's trying to gain control and gain power over House with this.
Right. It could very well be the case. We do hear later that the fate of House is uncertain at this point in the game. 15 years after the events in New Vegas.
Show, yep.
So then we go
back into town. There's the fridge scene when they start. I kept yelling at my screen, "Run, dude! What are you doing going to the house and wasting time? Run!" But they probably wouldn't be able to run out the nuke, run away from the nuke in 2.5 minutes anyway. Get far enough away for it to not kill him. So he did the one thing that every parent would do: go for saving his son. Yep.
Grab your kit, eat your food, and drink slow.
Yep. And they did a very much of an Indiana Jones thing by putting him in the fridge.
In the refrigerator.
Which was proven to not work, by the way. That would not save you from a nuclear blast.
No. I think Mythbusters did an episode on that.
They did. Yeah. And several other people have. And even if it's fully lead-lined, it won't save you. It'll save you from radiation at a very far distance away from the blast, but not at the proximity that they were at. He would have been disintegrated, so...
Yeah, just
but you got to suspend belief for the sake of this world. We don't know how their nukes work in particular, so
the bomb blows. And we go back to Hank in the past. Hank when Lucy was still a child. He was reading them Wind in the Willows, which is an interesting. It's a children's novel. It's about like friendship and a journey together and things like that, and respecting nature and everything that Hank really wasn't.
And we learned the origin of her whole okie dokie thing.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Got it from Daddy. And Lucy does ask when Mom's coming back, but of course, as far as Hank knows, Hank just killed her.
Yeah.
Did, in a sense. Kind of.
Yeah, in reality, he did.
Let's talk about Maximus. Killing ghouls, retrieving a relic.
Looking extremely bored. If not just bored, but conflicted.
Not really feeling the mission at this point.
Yeah.
He gets his salutations when he gets back to the airship. And all hail Knight Maximus. And then we got Dane there at the same time. And I think it's interesting that Dane only showed up a couple times in the first season, kind of at the beginning and then towards the end. We're seeing a lot more of Dane. And I feel like Dane is supposed to be the angel on his shoulder. throughout this episode and next episode, she's very clearly not impressed with the turn that Maximus is taking.
Yeah.
In his career in the Brotherhood.
It's pretty much their fault anyway.
I mean, pretty much. They pretty much did it. Last time we saw Dane before this, at the end of last season, Dane was heralding him as the hero who killed Moldaver. And now she doesn't like what he's turning into.
One thing I thought was really cool was how they showed the vertibird docking on the blimp. I thought that was pretty neat. Mm-hmm. And that back arm that comes up. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was ever in a game, but that was. I don't think it was. Was it?
It was Fallout 4. Yep.
That's
you
pretty
do see that in Fallout 4. You get a ride in a vertibird up to the Pridwin. Yeah. You can use them to travel instead of fast travel, and you can call in vertibird to come pick you up. It's kind of cool.
One thing I noticed interesting was that the Brotherhood is very broken and shattered in in different rival chapters. Now, I'm probably wrong on this, but I was wondering if 76 has something to do with this, because the Brotherhood story in 76 is all about that very thing, about the Brotherhood starting to fracture because different groups have different ideas and going off on their own ways and cutting themselves off of the Commonwealth, basically. And I was wondering if that has something to do with it. I know 76 is the earliest game in the timeline.
Yes.
So
chronologically in the timeline,
I don't know for sure because I didn't play the Brotherhood in any of the other games, so I don't know if they're already fractured at that point in those games, because it makes me wonder if 76 is where that began.
I just started Fallout 1, and we'll talk about that later. I just started Fallout 1, and I don't know about that yet, but I do know that in Fallout 3, the Brotherhood of the Capital Wasteland is fractured because you have the Brotherhood, and then you have the Brotherhood Outcasts. Mm-hmm. And then in Fallout 4, we have a leader descendant from Roger Maxson who operates completely differently than the Brotherhood in the Capital Wasteland. And the thing that's curious about is they called it the Commonwealth. Well, the Commonwealth, if we're talking about the Commonwealth Brotherhood, any Fallout fan would recognize that as the Brotherhood that's in Boston. Now, Boston's not far from DC. Did they take over for them? We don't really know what happened there, and we don't have a lot of ideas. Even speaking with Paladin Harkness later on, we don't really have an idea of what exactly the situation out east is. If they're joining forces on the East Coast, then that would make them a viable threat.
The Commonwealth is starting on the verge of collapsing as well, from what they were saying.
That's from what Xander was saying. Yeah. So who knows? But this is definitely all, of course, part of the plot of this and episode 3 as well.
The Brotherhood reveal that happens at the end of their scene cracked me up. I wasn't expecting that. Area 51.
The giant fans?
Yeah, and Area 51 being revealed as their new home.
Yep.
What happens later on in the later scenes is where it really got me going. It cracked me up so much. But before that,
Cleric Quintus, right in his ear, Maximus is really, really torn. I think Maximus wants to do the same thing, and I think Quintus is saying exactly what he needs to get Maximus to do what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
Because he says, together we will fulfill our promise to make this a better world, and calls him my son. And you see Maximus kind of smile. He's proud. That's flipped right on its head.
Doing the same thing that someone else later on tries with Maximus. I think they realize that Maximus is not the brightest light bulb in the room, and they know how to toy with him and how to... Not toy with him, but use him.
He's gullible. I don't even want to say gullible, but he's susceptible to if he thinks that he's doing the right thing, I can get this guy to do anything. Mm-hmm. You just got to put the right spin on it. And it's actually Paladin Harkness, Xander, that does this later on. Then we got Lucy and the Ghoul.
The spot that they're walking on the road, I know that road.
These two. Oh, do you?
I've been there, and it was extremely familiar. I knew it right away. I've been on that very road a few times. It's in between Mojave, California, and LA. On the Mojave Desert.
Okay.
I won't give the exact location, but yeah, I've been there a few times. It's out here in the Mojave Desert.
Wow, that's cool. Awesome. Ghoul asks for water. Lucy's like, were you always this rude? It's like, you're looking for your family, right? Don't you want them to like you? He just looks more annoyed. And it turns out she ends up telling him the story of A Christmas Carol, with Scrooge and the three ghosts that visit him, which is hilarious. And then by the end, he's cured. He's just completely unimpressed.
Yeah. Nothing to do with it.
Mm-mm.
Then Lucy's naivety comes out big time, and her stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm beginning to think that Lucy is dumber than she appears as this episode progresses.
I don't think it. Well, yeah, there's a few questionable choices that she makes, but I think it's just a matter of not necessarily stupidity, but ignorance.
Yeah.
For how the world absolutely, she's
Naivety,
encountering people
yeah.
she's never encountered before. A certain naivety.
You think she would listen to the one that's been out there for 200 years?
Right. Which he does it. This is one of my favorite lines of the episode is empathy's like mud. You'll lose your boots in that stuff. And then he's like, I used to be like you. Stupid.
Yeah.
But Lucy goes towards the screaming anyways.
Yep. And they discover it as what the ghoul calls tunics. And that it clicked right away with me. That's the Legion.
Legion, right off the rip. And I think it's interesting that right before that, as they're walking in, the ghoul says it's a waste of time. Lucy says doing the right thing is never a waste of time. But very literally, what happens in this next scene turns out to be a complete waste of time.
Yep.
And it gets Lucy into a lot of trouble. And of course, we don't recognize these people as belonging to Legion. Now, the man was one thing. The man was probably, I believe, based on what is said later, a Legionnaire who was injured. And the woman, however, if you're not familiar with the lore of the Legion, they're extremely patriarchal. Women have no rights. They do not fight. They do not serve. They are slaves. Just use your imagination. Yeah. It can get bad for them. The ghoul ends up cutting the guy's throat, killing him outright, which Lucy doesn't like.
Of course not.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting there trying to save the girl who's just going to bring her a bunch of trouble. If they're in there crying for help, there's something else in there.
Yeah, and then the ghoul figures that out when he takes a bite of the dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out to be toxic because we start hearing some skittering.
Bring in the badass rad scorpions.
Rad scorpions,
the babies.
Man, that was so cool. Yeah, and I told Mrs. Kilo as we're watching, I'm like, those are the little ones. Those are the babies. Yeah. Those are not the big ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I told Mrs. Wigit too. Those are just babies.
The big son of a bitch comes busting out. That was a cool little fight scene. I like that. That was a lot of fun with the rad scorpion. And he ends up dispatching it with a grenade in the mouth.
Right in the mouth, yeah.
Classic. Yep.
I couldn't tell at first if that was the mouth or the head, like a hole in the head. Then it clicked on me, but at first it looked like just some kind of hole in the head, like he might have shot open or something, but yeah.
No, he like shoved
That's
right
what I get
through the mandible.
Working on my notes while trying to watch.
See, I subjected Mrs. Kilo to these episodes twice because we watched them. I watched them first, free and clear.
I should do that too.
And then the second time I went through and did the notes for it.
Golden rule, motherfucker.
Golden rule, motherfucker. I wrote that down too. The rules for people. You're disgusting and cruel. I'm going to give you some time to think about the consequences of your actions. She promises to come back for him. But the whole beef is that she didn't give him a stem pack. She gave the stem pack to the woman, the injured woman.
Which is messed up because Lucy really pisses me off with her holier-than-thou mentality and morality. I get what she's trying to do, but I don't like that character.
Fair enough, man. I mean, she's just trying to do the right thing. She doesn't know. But like you said earlier, maybe you should defer to the guy who's been around for 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he might have a idea.
If I'm in a situation, in an environment like another country that I don't know anything about the culture, and I'm with someone who's lived their entire life in that culture, I am going to refer to their judgment.
Yeah.
I do not know best, and I'm smart enough to know I don't.
Exactly. Speaking of people that might or might not know best, we go back to Norman, unfreezing everybody in 31.
Yeah, I got my note just says the defrosting happens.
Yes.
And it's time for Norm to finally step up.
Dude, I cracked up when that girl fell out of the
Oh god, that was hilarious. I'm okay. Classic.
Yeah. Should I be able to see now? Why are we all here? Where's Bud Askins? Yeah.
He's kind of and it pans over to the
dead. Yeah,
robot
in the mop bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, robot turned malfunctioning. And of course, everybody starts to panic. And Norm's sitting there trying to figure out how to sort that out. And then that's when we go back to Vault Tech Tower, and we got Hank doing his little experiments on mice. Now, I have no real issue with this scene except for the fact that he makes about 100 trips back to the cryogenics, the livestock area of the cryogenics repository.
He's having the time of his life doing this. He's just humming away, enjoying life, and this facility is remarkably intact.
Mrs. Kilo said the same thing. She's like, it's been hundreds of years since people have been down here. Why is it so clean?
It's clean.
Where's the mice coming from?
Intact. It's got everything he needs. Yeah. All the equipment's working. There's something really fishy about this place.
I would think that the only thing that I could come up with, I mean, Miss Kilo does have a good point. So do you. But the only thing I could come up with is that there's robots maintaining them. We just haven't seen them for whatever reason. That's the thing I
more
can
than likely.
I'm saying, get a box. Like a box, right? You got at least one box.
They have acrylic cages,
and then
put them in there.
Go get a bunch of mice.
He's probably thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get it to work. I don't have to go back." But I think he just enjoyed the trip back and forth. It kept him busy.
And they really did. It was really fun the way they did they hinted at the progression of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you pay attention throughout that sequence, he's getting better and better at the yo-yo.
Yes.
That's how they marked the time. They're like, it's been a while.
I noticed that. Really I forgot to put it in my notes, but I noticed that. That's really cool they did that.
Yeah. Yep. But every time they try to, he's trying to attach these devices to the mice and just blowing them up.
Yeah. And said Hank is just having the time of his life popping mice.
Yep. I did a boom splat.
My favorite scene of episode 2 is when we go back to the Brotherhood.
Area 51.
Yes.
Yeah, and they walk into the warehouse, and let's see, there's a few different great things in there. There's I
wrote down quite a
original, the 13 colonies flag. There's the Constitution of the United States is in there. But the biggest
the Declaration of Independence
for any
was spotted.
Fallout fan. The what?
Declaration of Independence was spotted in there too.
Yep, that was in there. The biggest thing of all, of course, they open a freezer, an ice box.
One of the funniest damn scenes in the show yet.
There's a Zayden in the ice box.
An alien.
If you played Fallout, an alien, and if you played Fallout 3, there's an expansion. You go to the mothership and fight them, which is a lot of fun. And then, of course, in Fallout 4, there's a crash site that you can get the ray gun and things like that from. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, these guys are just like a real fucking ice box.
Yeah, he takes the alien and pulls it out. It's a real ice box. I'm like, oh my god.
You got the knights playing with the grenades, and then that beautiful cherry Thunderbird, man.
That they conveniently blow up, and I get another car explosion. Favorite thing, but we get another car boom. But okay, I actually paused and rewound this scene like 4 or 5 times, going through and just spotting everything in the background. As they're walking down the hall.
What'd you find?
The Declaration of Independence, original terracotta soldiers. Ark of the Covenant is in one scene. Alien Blaster being played with. King Tut's sarcophagus is also back there. And I'm sitting there going, all these incredible, amazing things and powerful things throughout history, and they have no idea what the hell they got.
And there's actually, in one of the meeting rooms, I believe, it's when Quintus is chewing Maximus out. I think. I don't know. One of those rooms, you see Van Gogh paintings in the background.
I took a screenshot, or I took a picture of one of the screens, and I wasn't sure what it was. I think it's the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah, that's right. You sent me a picture of that. I'm like, it does. I looked it up. I looked up the Holy Hand Grenade. I mean, the only difference is that the Holy Hand Grenade had like a little cross on top.
But yeah, it looks like either that or it's probably some kind of Catholic relic. But I also put it in our Discord. No real replies yet. Anyone who knows what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a Holy Hand Grenade. That would be an hilarious callback or a hilarious Easter egg in the show, and it's just sitting there in the back. I had too much fun going through and looking at all different things and all the different artifacts back there. That was crazy.
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Then we kind of see cold fusion working.
Yep, they got the cold fusion working. We see kind of Maximus is kind of overseeing, right? Maximus is the sword. He's referred to derogatorily as the sword a little bit later on. I think this next part is particularly interesting. We meet Maximus's squire. He asks why Maximus is washing his face. And he basically says, well, what is our duty? We have a lot of big problems, but we can make them small, and we do that through self-discipline, generosity, and valor. So he's really preaching to his squire. First of all, he's not treating his squire like crap.
Right.
And which we know is a standard thing in the Brotherhood, but he's actually trying to teach him the actual what he believes the Brotherhood is. We see here what Maximus believes the Brotherhood is supposed to be, and he says the same to Dane in a conversation coming up. Same thing. Like, he wants the Brotherhood is the best it's going to be. I'm just trying to make it better.
Now, the significance, though, of the cold fusion working is monumental. I don't think a lot of people understand how monumental that is, because that chapter of the Brotherhood gained a massive amount of power, literally and figuratively. On that instant, they got it working. I think we're going to see that result of that power coming up.
We do, yeah. These idiots playing with the grenades, dude.
Even during the fight. Like, come on, guys. Really?
Yeah. But we start to have a little bit more insight here about what it is, the differences between the different chapters. Grand Canyon and a few different... What?
I don't know if it's happened yet, but the comment of they're talking about when all the leaders come in and they talk about the guy that was fucking robots. And it's one squire well within his rights.
Well within his rights.
I was dying. What is wrong with these people?
Well, I mean, even the original voice of Cosworth in season 1, when he was talking to Cooper Howard, was talking about how they're for housewives and perverts. So, I mean, that kind of tracks. Yeah, we had the meeting with the Brotherhood leaders, because we have all the airships come in. Everybody's asking where the Commonwealth is. The Commonwealth Brotherhood, which we're given to understand is a large chapter of the Brotherhood, because they're all scared to death of it unless they can unite. And that's when they bring in, he says that we all have our differences, but something we all agree on is power. And that's when they bring out all the crates of fusion cores. And the one chapter leader's asking about, well, how many do we have? And Quintus says more than all of human history could ever consume.
And we can make more.
And that's when they decide they're going to band together against the Commonwealth. Yeah, all from the fusion.
That's just a small example of what they can do.
And then we got Lucy and the slave. she said something in Latin. And Lucy's like, oh, you know Latin? I'm also a school teacher. Education is very important to me. And again, she calls it Las Vegas, because that's what she knows it as. I know a lot of people complain. So the wounded Legion woman says, you should go home. I'd hate to see you get raped by the wrong people. And that's when we see the dudes on the cliff with torches. They're getting close to the Legion outpost. And then Norman at the vault again.
And he's taking on a leadership role and lying to the people's face in a very, very smart way.
Yeah.
That's Norm's superpower.
Absolutely. I'm the product of,
The guy is smart.
His words, his mind. Absolutely. And he promises, he says, I'm 200 years of genetic engineering. You've been selected to be my staff and continue Bud Askin's life work. But he has a final test. And here's some merit dots you can get, which are just Band-Aids.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
and almost immediately, they all jump to. They're like, all right. They start working on. I'm like, oh, I sat in on a meeting with the people who built the ventilation system. And like, oh, the fire suppression system. We could probably get water from that. Like, immediately, everybody hopped to.
Yeah, they all came on board and we're right to it. No more panic.
Nope, right on it. That vault tech mentality, that corporate mentality, plugged right in. And then we get to the poor bastard that Hank unthaws. The mice are too small, very fiddly.
Yeah, and I was like, well, wait, is Hank going already to human trials? What the heck? He's stepping it up a lot.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how he justifies the act to himself.
Yeah.
Because it turns out that this guy had only bought a ticket for himself for this premier executive package. And he's like, well, what about your family? Oh, it was very expensive. And Hank says, you can't put a price on family. Family is the first building block of civilization. So he basically decided, well, since you didn't bring your family with you, then you don't actually have any more value than I see fit to use you. And blows his head off, basically, with the chip.
Basically calling him a selfish, arrogant a-hole that has no place here, and boom.
And then we got Lucy back at the Legion,
Yeah, and I have
flag.
my note starts open with Lucy discovers the Legion like an idiot.
Yeah. He's like, I know we have our cultural differences, but I just want to let you know
I'm nice.
I am nice. But I mean, at that point, but at that point, listen, she knows she's in trouble. She knows, like, all right, this is bad. What else is she going to do in that situation? Just hope for the best. And that's all. That's what she did.
Everything about me says that it was the dumbest. She showed her lack of intelligence by not listening to the person she's been traveling with, who's proven to keep her safe, who proves that he knows what he's talking about. And yet she still ignores it, getting herself into more epic trouble trying to kill herself. And he's got to come after her again.
Yeah, he does. But he has a reason to. He needs her.
Yeah.
And he says that to dog meat later on. We go back to the vault, and here's Norman. They found a maintenance hatch. Really clever teamwork, climbing up each other's bodies, getting up to the hatch, and that's a ladder.
Going through the ventilation system.
Yep. And he sees daylight for the first time.
Yeah, I loved it.
In his life.
His first impression of the wasteland is, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Well, he's never seen the sky before.
Yeah, I was just, I put myself in his shoes.
Sturdy.
If I had grown up underground in a vault, I had never seen the sky. I've only seen movies and pictures and TV about that. Yeah, it would be pretty dang impressive seeing the ocean for the first time.
I agree.
Because you never saw.
Was that Long Beach? Was that supposed to be Long Beach?
Santa Monica.
With the Ferris wheel? Or Santa Monica with the Ferris wheel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We go back to Maximus.
Yep. We got Rock'em Sock'em robots in real for the power armor boxing.
Yeah.
It makes you think that these, sometimes, I always picture the Brotherhood as being a lot more intelligent than this.
I don't know why you still have that impression after
I don't
Titus.
know.
Like, really,
it sailed a long time ago. Well, maybe because of Fallout 76, they were actually rather intelligent and very duty-bound, but that was early days, so.
Right. Yeah, that's true. This is what it is now, at least in this chapter.
Yeah.
And then we get this big son of a bitch walks up.
I bet I can mash you.
I bet I can mash you.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Maximus looks over at Quintus, and Quintus kind of gives a little bit of a shrug. And he's like, all right, let me get my armor. No armor. Bareback. Maximus starts off by getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, well, the guy, come on, really? No honor. He's just taking his jacket off, and the guy goes there and starts pummeling him. 3 times, 3 times his size, just going after him. And the dumbass pulls out a knife.
You got to give it to Maximus here.
Yeah.
Because Maximus fights smart.
He did.
That's what he ultimately does. That what saves him. Ends up winning over the guy. Everybody's cheering, except for Dane. And I think, again, this is
it really showed Maximus's a side of Maximus that hasn't really been shown yet. Because before, in the early days of his power armor usage, it was all dumb. Everything was just dumb. But now we're seeing a combat intelligence in him. And it's the first time it's starting to come out.
But not everybody likes it. We got Dane again, who looks extremely disappointed on what Maximus is turning into. It's not, and she said something earlier too after the conversation with the Squire. She was saying something like, because he quoted the Codex to her, and she's like, we used to quote the Codex to make fun of it, like to joke around. But he's taking it. He's taking it, and
he's taking his new role seriously.
He wants to do the right thing. Yeah, and he wants to do better, but it's just misguided by the wrong people. And speaking of the wrong people, Vertibird flies into this guy, Kamal Nanjiani, amazing comedian, by the way, flies in and says, I believe we were discussing a civil war.
The same thing that we saw during the previews.
And he introduces himself as Paladin Harkness.
Liaison.
Fallout 3 players are going to know the name Harkness because Harkness is a major focus of one of the side quests in Fallout 3 at Rivet City. He's the major... High five. Fucked me up with that. God damn it. So perfect. Anyways, Harkness is a security guard in Rivet City, and you are tasked by an agent of the Institute to handle him, get him to return north, which would be to Boston, because that's where we know the Institute is based out of if you've played Fallout 4. Now, there are a couple of different endings to the storyline. You could either let Harkness be or use his recall code and make him leave and go to the Institute. Now, a couple of different things here. First of all, it could just be an Easter egg. It could just be, them trying to get them to point, people to point at the television screen like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not entirely convinced that's true for a couple of reasons. This may very well, this is my own, I'm going to go with that. And that is that Harkness is not Brotherhood. Harkness is Institute. Here's a couple of reasons why. One, if nobody told them about the meeting and the Commonwealth, Xander is said to be 2,000 miles away from home later. How did they find out about it? And they didn't come in an airship. They came in a vertibird.
Mm-hmm.
So they flew a vertibird all the way across the country.
With an extra set of armor?
With an extra set of armor? Exactly. It just seems a little bit goofy.
Yeah, when you mentioned the fact what Harkness was, it all clicked in my head that he's a synth.
Yeah. Now, if this was the Institute, a couple of things Institute have at their disposal. One, they have a teleporter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They can literally teleport people anywhere, just like that. That's from Fallout 4.
Unless there's
and we also know
there's protections around Area 51 that prevents that.
Well, entirely possible. You still have to fly in.
Mm-hmm.
So you teleport them a little bit closer. You get them to commandeer a vertibird, and they have, maybe there's a couple of guys, because usually the knights travel in pairs. Those guys are dead. Well, put the armor on the helicopter. Now you have 2 sets of armor. Why would one knight need 2 sets of armor? And the other thing that I thought was interesting that comes up. Listen, I'm on a roll.
That I didn't even.
The other thing is that in Fallout 4, the other thing is that in Fallout 4, it is known once you get into the Institute, you find out that the crows that you see all over the game in Fallout 4, the Institute has a number of spies all over the Commonwealth. Now, before you get to the Institute, you're not really sure what that looks like. What you do find out eventually is that the crows throughout the Boston Commonwealth are the Institute spies. We see a lot of crows in this episode, specifically around the Legion camp.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know this.
My theory is that the Institute has been keeping an eye on the Brotherhood. Either they control the Boston Commonwealth or they are still just using their synth copies to replace people in the Boston Commonwealth.
Well, a lot of stuff that we're talking about.
They heard about... they have a reason to go after cold fusion.
A lot of the stuff that he's been mentioning, ladies and gentlemen, ties a lot into episode 3 and what was said during that. But
yeah,
I think you're on a huge point. And when he starts, I just had it on the tip of my head. There was a point when our suspected synth says, oh crap, what did he say? Oh yeah, something about the Commonwealth, about you don't even know like how much trouble it's in over there.
Like out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what you're saying makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think that's a crazy conspiracy theory. I think that's on point.
Yeah, and because the Institute, if it, let's just say it is. Let's say that this guy is from the Institute. He is Harkness. The Institute in the Boston area, if you don't join up with him, has 3 major problems. And that is the Railroad, that is the Brotherhood, and that is the Minutemen. The Institute is alone in that.
Did you ever think that maybe that Robert House is a synth?
Victor brings something up. Victor in the Ghoul, in the conversation that they have at Camp Golf, that does come up because he said that House is always prepared.
Mm-hmm.
He said he wanted to live forever.
And he knows everything.
You know that you can transfer a robot into a synth body, the consciousness, from Fallout 4. So yeah, what if everything went south in New Vegas? Because at the end of New Vegas, you have a choice to make. So if everything goes south there and he needs another backup plan, why would the Institute not be involved in that backup plan?
The fact that dude's 200 plus years old and doesn't look a day older.
Well, no, in Fallout New Vegas, he's a husk in a pod. Basically, he's barely alive. The computer is most of So, yeah, could House himself be a synth? Oh my God! All right.
Anyway,
so that I suspect that Xander was possibly an Institute agent, not necessarily of the Brotherhood, but
Yeah,
because there's just too many things that don't make sense about him showing up in the middle of that meeting.
Especially during episode 3, there's a lot that makes me really question that he's not really a part of the Brotherhood. So when certain thing happens in episode 3, that's a big shock moment. I wasn't that shocked. I expected it in a way, and I don't think it's going to be resulting in a way that they think it's going to be. Yeah, so at the end of this episode 2, it starts teasing a lot of the Legion in the end credits. So I had a good idea that I knew right away we were going to start seeing Macaulay Culkin in episode 3. And we're going to see a lot more of the Legion. And we really, really do. And that is the end of part 1 of episode 26. Stay tuned for part 2. It should be out tomorrow.